Hey guys, the Dude's Corner here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve square one. Now let me first start off by saying that square one is actually a very hard puzzle. Now I'm sure a lot of you already know this, and a lot of tutorials make it very hard to learn how to solve, and I can't even guarantee that this tutorial will be the easiest for you to learn. Because square one is very uniquely different compared to all other puzzles, so don't expect this to be very easy. I think the best example of me explaining how hard this puzzle is try to remember when you learn how to solve 3x3. Learning notation and the way that the cube works was very difficult at first. And over time, you became very good at learning how to solve it. But for this cube, it's going to work a little bit differently. I can guarantee you that you are going to mess up quite a bit in learning how to solve this cube. This could take days before you actually even just manage to solve it. And I know that sounds really hard, and it is. I mean, it took me a few weeks before I actually managed how to memorize how to even solve this cube. So understand the fact that if you're having trouble, don't assume that that's my fault. Don't assume it's anyone's fault if you try watching a different tutorial. Because ultimately, it's not even yours, it's just, it takes a lot of time to learn how to solve it. So if you have trouble, just maybe try taking a break or something and just get back at it, because this puzzle works very uniquely different and is not related to any other puzzle out there. However, I would say you should know how to solve 3x3 and 4x4, just so you know notation and how cubes work and stuff like that. But the puzzle itself does really not have any form of similarities to those puzzles at all. So I just say no, you should learn how to solve 3x3 and 4x4. That way you're just familiar with twisty puzzles in general and just have an experience with how hard it is to memorize notation and stuff. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start explaining how this puzzle works. And remember, I'm going to keep reminding you throughout this video that this is not an easy puzzle. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to know is how to hold the cube. To hold the cube, you're always going to want to hold either yellow and white on top or on bottom. So like yellow on top, white on bottom, or white on top and yellow on bottom. And then in order for the turns to work, yellow and white can move freely, but there's only one turn that can actually make these pieces swap, which is slicing from the middle. There's nowhere across any other spot on like blue and green where you can slice. There's only one spot where you can. So for instance, if I like turn like this, I can't then turn from like this side or something. I can only turn from one spot here, and then the white and the blue side move freely, if that makes sense. And then the next thing that is very important that you're probably going to need to know is how the notation is going to work. Notation is very confusing to explain, and I'm going to try doing this as best as I can. I will, throughout this video, tell you what side you'll need to hold. For notation, this is considered as your slicing move, because it is the only slice and the only spot where you can actually switch the pieces from the top and the bottom layer. So this I'm calling as the slash move. The slash as a notation is written as this slash listed above. So every time I say slash, that's what this symbol means in the algorithm. Now for the hardest part, in my opinion. The notation is really where it's going to get hard and where you're probably going to mess up the most. So if you're having trouble, don't feel too bad. Instead of the regular Rubik's Cube notation where we use letters for knowing which sides to turn, for the square one, we use numbers. So for instance, if I say 3, you're going to turn the top 3 places. So this is 1, because it's one spot from where you could slice. This is 2, and this is 3. And then if I said to slash, then you would slash this over like this. If I say -3, then that means I want you to turn counterclockwise. So that would be equivalent to prime. So there is positive and negative. Positive is regular clockwise, negative is counterclockwise. So -3 would be 1, 2, 3 places. As hard as this is, there's one more thing. if I say 3, -3, that would mean first comes the top, and then the second number comes the bottom. So the first one, 3, we would move 3 places, 1, 2, 3. And then -3 means the bottom because it's the second number. The first number is the top, second number is the bottom. So we move -3 places, 1, 2, 3. So that's 3, -3. Now if I said 3, 0, then that means just turn the top 3 places and don't turn the bottom. If I say 0, -3, then that means don't turn the top and move the bottom -3 places. So if I were to say /3, 0, /, that would mean slicing the cube, so slash, 3 places, 1, 2, 3, 0, which means don't turn the bottom, and then slash, like that. So that's how the notation works. And yes, I know it's hard, but there's one more thing in the notation. As annoying as this is, the corner part here counts as a number. So like 2, if I say 2, 0, that'd be 1, 2. And you may already notice that this you can't slice, like that you can't slice here. And I realize that. And this also can help show you if you mess up an algorithm throughout the solve. But as annoying as this does count as a number. A few reasons are more for the advanced solvers, which I'm not going to get into why. But yes, always remember to count this as a spot. So if I say 3, like I mentioned before, this is 1 here, 2, which is this corner, even though you can't slice, and then 3. Now, the next thing that is important is one algorithm. Now, there's a lot of algorithms in this puzzle, but one algorithm we have to use a lot. And this algorithm is /6, so 6, 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, /6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, /6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For that algorithm, it's pretty basic, and you're going to need to make sure you know it because you're going to be using it a lot. This algorithm that I showed you, I'm going to be calling as the bar flip algorithm. Pretty obvious where the name comes from. Now, what makes this so important? Well, if I go ahead and undo that, what I just did, which to undo, you just perform the exact same algorithm that I showed you before. Before we ever perform any state of algorithm or any case, we always want the bar flipped. So we cannot have this case here where this is completely solved, like this middle bar here. So if we were about to perform some kind of algorithm, we need to make sure that this bar is flipped. So we would perform that algorithm as before, and the bar is flipped. And then the next important thing is you always need to hold it in this position where they're leaning towards the left. This would be leaning towards the right because they're both facing toward the right, but all algorithms, they need to be facing toward the left. So that's where your slash move is. So let's say for a second we were holding white on top. This bar is now leaning on the right, and we always want it to lean on the left. I'll make sure to correct you any time that this could happen, so just a heads up. All right, so that's everything really important for starting with the algorithms. So let's go ahead and scramble this cube up. Also, one other thing that I want to mention is that there are a lot of cases that can happen on this cube, so this is going to become very, very tedious. So let's go ahead and scramble this up. Okay, now the cube is reasonably scrambled. This first step is probably going to be the most hardest for you to figure out and could be really, really random. So it's similar to cross, if you remember on 3x3, in the fact that you kind of had to figure that out on your own. because there really is no basic way of explaining it. Now, and I'm sure if you're very familiar with 3x3, you'll know as a fact that you really just can't teach cross without someone learning each case on their own, because there's really a lot of different cases and you can't just explain each one. It's got to be taught intuitively. Well, this first step is like that. The first step is getting the cube back into its shape, and you have to kind of solve this intuitively on your own. I'll give a few types of tips and things, but the way that this is ultimately going to work is by looking at pairs of 2 of these smaller edges. So these are your edges and these are your corners. These are just considered as your slice bars. There really are no centers. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to look at pairs of 2 of these edges. So there are 3 different types of cases you can have. You can have consider this as a 2-bar block here, because these 2 are together. And then you can consider this one here as an angle case, like on the 3x3 for yellow cross, like these 2 here. Then you can have these 2 also as angles, but it can go a little bit one step further. There's also the line, and you can look at this as a different perspective. The line can be seen as these 2 right here, this white one here and this one here. And then you can see this as a block of 2. So you can treat these pairs of 2 however you really want, but there are a lot of different ways that you can have pairs of 2, and whatever you decide how you want to treat them is how you're going to end up having to solve the case. So let me show you just one more example. So let's say we have something like this. We have a block of 2 here and an angle case here. We flip the cube over, we have a block here and an angle case, line case here. But if we wanted to look at this at a different perspective, we could say we have 2 angles here, so like one here and then one here. And then we can also look at this as saying we can have a line and then an angle. You see that? So as you can see, this is already a little bit confusing, and like I said, this is probably the hardest part because you have to solve it intuitively. But what we want to do is we want to line all of these edges up together. So make them all lined up. So the easiest way I think to do this is by looking at your already set blocks of 2 and try finding ways of bringing them together. Yes, this could get really confusing with bandaging, and this step you don't need to worry about the middle bar being sliced or not, just as long as if this you have one on the left side. So for instance, this is on the left. Don't hold it as though like this was on the right, if that makes sense. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try pairing up different ways. So you can just honestly try different moves and just try making blocks of 2 like these 2 here, where they're next together. So like if I wanted to, I could just start kind of turning the cube randomly. And as you can see, I made these 2, but then that just kind of broke up the other 2 that I had before, which were these 2. So I could try instead moving this part out of the way and then going up, and that gives me a block of 2, these 2 here, and then I have 2 blocks at the bottom of 2. So then what I could do is I could try looking for another way of building another block, and an easy way I think to do this would be trying to make a block of 4. So I have these 2 and these 2. So I can line them up so that where I can slice, and I have this nice block of 4 right here. And then I have these 2 here, and I can try lining them up as well, like this, and I can just try slicing them. Now I realize not all cases will allow you to actually slice like how I'm doing, so I'll get into that in just a minute. As you can see, slice. And then we have an angle part here. Now I'm going to get into how to deal with this in just a moment, but I'm going to show you a different case that you can have that'll make it just a little bit easier for explaining wise how to deal with this case beforehand. The easier case, in my opinion, is either if you already have a block of 2, which you can just insert to the top, or if you have a line like this. If you have the line like this, you're going to go ahead and just slice it where this is on this side here, so that when you slice, it's bringing up these 2 like that, if that makes sense. And then that gets all of these lined up together. Now, if you have this case, this is when it gets a little bit more difficult. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring this up when taking 2 of these out, and you're going to want to do the back 2. So like this, you're going to line this up for the back 2, and you're going to slice these 2 up into the top, and this creates this pattern here, which you look at, you have an angle and then 2 blocks here. But if you look at this, like I mentioned earlier, at a different perspective, you have 2 blocks here and then 2 blocks here and then a line here. And you could take these two, bring them toward the back where you can then slice up to the top like this. And then you have a line and you can just solve the case like I showed you before. Then of course you can have something like this where you just have this 1 out on the side. And you have to remember you can't treat these as ones, you have to treat them as blocks of 2. And so we could treat this as 2, 2, 2, and then an angle. Or we could do 2, a line, and then 2 and 2. Or we could go 2, 2, 2, and then like an angle here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out like this and then consider this as an angle here. And then we would solve this case how I showed you before by taking out this block up here, like these two here. And then I have the line here, and I would want to bring these to the back and then slice and then solve this line case. So as you can see, a lot of this has to be done intuitively because there's really no easy way for me to explain it. A lot of this you have to learn on your own, as hard as it is, and I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing much else that I can do. So I'm going to explain just another random case with these two, angle here, these two, angle here. And I think the best way for me to approach this would be to bring this block up into the top. So by pairing these two with these two to create a block of 4. So I would do that by turning the top once here and then slicing here to get a block of 4. And then I have these here, which is angle, angle as before. But instead, I'm going to use this as a block and this as a line. But in order for us to actually insert this to the top, because we can't actually bring both the pair of these because there's a bit of blockage here with these two down here, corners. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these two corners by bringing this into the top up here like this. And then these two I can move freely. So then I'm going to re-bring those up like that. And then I can bring this line in to the top like that, and then I have all of these here. Now there is a lot more that I could show you, but due to the duration of this video would be extremely long because there are so many different cases you can have here, so I'm sorry, but I am gonna have to move on. When we have this case here, in order for us to solve it, this is when we get to learn a new algorithm. So what you want to do is you're going to want to hold this whole entire block facing you. Now this part also does not matter whether or not the bar is flipped, so you can just hold it wherever the bar is and put the slash, like the slicing part, in the middle of all of this here. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this algorithm listed above. Slash -2, -4, slash -1, -2, slash -3, and then -3, slash. And as you can see, that got this back into its cube shape. The next step is the only final remaining step where we can do something without this bar being flipped. But in order for this to happen, remember that this slicing part needs to be on the left side and not the right. This step is actually going to be pretty intuitive, and if you know how to solve a 4x4, you'll know exactly how to solve this next step. This next step is putting all these corners to their side where they belong so that they match, so like all white and all yellow on one side. So I think the best way for me to do this is by looking at these white ones here and these white ones here. And like a 4x4, we would want to bring up this entire bar, and then we could just insert it in the top. Now one thing you probably just noticed is this just ruined our entire cube shape. So in order for us to do a move without it ruining the entire cube shape, we move the top layer once. Now this is very, very important, and you're going to need to remember this throughout the entire solve, is when you turn one spot once and you slice, this does not change the original cube shape other than the middle bar. And us changing the middle bar doesn't matter too much. And then from here, we have this part here, and this is like 4x4 where we need to insert this into the top. And the way we do that is by holding this in the angle position. And then we want to insert this to the top. Now we need to make sure our cube is rotated on the top once. We're going to slash. And then from here, we're going to rotate the top back so that we have these two bars lined up together. So like this. And then now this is not on the right side anymore. Now you just probably noticed that. See, this is now on the left. Now in order for this to be on the right, we actually have to do a cube rotation, or we could do the bar flip algorithm. But in my case, I'm going to do a cube rotation. And then from here, we're going to turn the top once and then slice up. And as you can see, this makes all white and yellow on top and on bottom. This next step is going to be called the stages step, is what the beginners call it. This is considered as a stage 1 step. You're going to count down the stages. So basically you're going to perform an algorithm to get to a certain case, which is a lower stage, to perform another algorithm to get to a lower stage, to perform another algorithm to get to a lower stage until you're down to stage 1, and then the cube will have all the colors matching on their side. So this step is when we want to get all of white and yellow matching on their side, and the remaining thing to do that is by putting these edges where they belong. Now there are many cases that you can have here, and I'm going to start with stage 1, and it is when you have these two yellow and these two white, which is considered as the line stage. The line stage is the only stage 1 part, so which means all the other stages you want to bring down to this case. If you don't understand, you'll be able to in just a moment. So what we want to do is we're going to perform this algorithm, which is 1 slash negative 1 slash -0 -1. And then as we can see, this gets all white and yellow on their sides. The next case that I'm going to show you is the only stage 2 case, and this is when you have two angles like this. Now you're going to want to hold them exactly in this position, where this one is in this spot up here, the top, and the bottom is corresponding with it like right here, like that. Make sure your middle bar is flipped. If it is not, do the bar flipping algorithm that I showed you before, which is this algorithm for the bar flip. And then for this case, we're going to perform this algorithm, which is slash 30 slash -3 -3 slash 03 slash. And then this gets us the line case, and we're going to perform the same algorithm as before. And the algorithm is 10 slash -1 -1 slash 0 -1. And as you can see, this solved the case. The next case that I will show you is when we have a line and an angle. Now, if we have this case, you're going to want to hold the line on top and the angle on bottom. And you're going to want to hold it in this position where the line is going down and the angle is in this spot here. The first thing that I notice is that our bar is not flipped. So we want to flip this bar by doing the algorithm as before, the bar flip algorithm, which is slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And as you can see, that flipped our bar. And then we're going to want to perform the algorithm to fix this. And this algorithm actually is the same one as I showed you before, which is slash 30 slash -3 -3 slash 03 slash. And now as you can see, we have a stage 2 case with these two here and here, which are the two angles. And we want to hold it in this position here. Make sure your middle bar is flipped. And we do the exact same algorithm that I showed you before. Slash 30 slash -3 -3 slash 03 slash. And then we have two line cases, and this algorithm is the one before, which is 10 slash -1 -1 slash 0, 1. And that solves yellow and white. Another case that we can have is something like this. This one right here is considered as stage 4. It is when we have these 3 here and these 3 here. This is considered as the 3 edge case, and you're going to want to hold the top where it is facing down, like this, and you want to hold the right where this edge, extra edge, is facing toward the left. So like this. Make sure your middle bar is flipped, and the algorithm we want to do is actually the first one from stage 1, and that is 1 slash negative 1, negative 1 slash 0, 1. And then we have a line and an angle. As in this case, we want to do the same as before. Make sure your middle bar is flipped. And this algorithm is slash 30 slash negative 3, negative 3 slash 0, 3 slash. And now we have a stage 2 case, which is the 2 angles. Hold them both like this. And we want to do slash 30 slash negative 3, negative 3 slash 0, 3 slash. And then we have stage 1, which is these two. And then we're going to do the same case as before, which is 1, 0 slash negative 1 slash 1, 0, 1. And as you can see, that solved yellow and white. Now this is another example of a stage 4 case. This is when you have just 1 and 1 on each side. What we want to do here is we're going to hold the 1 facing us on the top and the 1 on the bottom facing toward the left, like this. Now I notice that our middle bar is not flipped, so we want to flip it by doing the algorithm as before, which is slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And as you can see, that flipped our middle bar. And then to perform this case, we're going to use the first case from stage 1 algorithm, which is 1, 0 slash negative 1 slash 0, 1. And now we have a stage 3 case, and we want to hold it actually in this exact position. Make sure our middle bar is flipped, and the algorithm is slash 30 slash negative 3 slash 0, 3 slash. Now we have a stage 2 case, same algorithm as before, slash 30 slash negative 3 slash 0, 3 slash. And then we have 2 single lines, and this algorithm is the same from which is the first stage, which is 1, 0 slash negative 1 slash negative 1. As you can see, this solved yellow and white. The last case that I want to real quick show you is one of the most rare that you can possibly have, but it is actually considered as a stage 1. It's when you have a cross case and a cross case on both top and bottom. The first thing I notice is that our middle bar is not flipped, so let's go ahead and flip it by doing our algorithm, which is slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And then we can hold this actually from any position, and we're going to use the stage 1 algorithm as before, which is 1, 0 slash negative 1 slash 0, 1. And then we just have the same case from stage 1 as originally. So we're just going to hold them like this as before, make sure our middle bar is flipped, and then 1, 0 slash negative 1 slash 0, 1. And there you go, yellow and white is solved. Okay, so that is how you solve white and yellow. And yes, I know that was not an easy case. And the next thing that we want to do is we're going to put all the corners where they belong. Now, you're going to look for headlights, kind of like we would do on 3x3. So you have these two matching. None of the other ones are matching. And then we have these two matching, and none of the other ones here matching. Now, we're going to perform an algorithm that will swap these, that can swap these two on the right, but it also swaps these two on the bottom on diagonal. So for us to do this, what we're going to first do is we're going to solve one case here, which these two obviously need to swap. Let's not worry about the bottom yet. And our middle bar is flipped, so we're good to perform an algorithm. And to swap these two, we're going to perform this algorithm, which is new. It is slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And as you can see, this put all the corners on the top where they belong. Now for the bottom. Now the first thing we need to do is flip our middle bar. So we're going to do slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And let's rearrange this middle bar so that this is leaning toward the left. And now we just need to swap these two edges. Now you might think do exactly what we did before where we swapped these two on the bottom, but we actually don't want to do that. And one of the reasons why is, like I mentioned, it will swap these two diagonally on the bottom. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of a setup move. So we're going to put these headlights first in the back and swap these two across and these two diagonally as before. So we're going to use the same algorithm, which is slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 and then slash. And as you can see, we have these two headlights, and we're not going to move the bottom. We're going to move this to the left, and we need to flip our middle bar. So slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And now we're going to perform the algorithm and make sure this is leaning to the left, which the bar is. And we're going to do slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And now all of our corners are where they belong. One other thing I want to real quick mention is if we were going to solve, say, this top side first and we have no headlights, then that is okay. We're just going to swap two of any of the pieces. So, and we're going to do the exact same algorithm as before. Now we already have our bar leaning to the left and then it's flipped, so we can go ahead and perform this algorithm. And it's the same as before, so slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And then we have headlights, so we're going to put those to the left, and we're going to want to flip this middle bar. So to do that, we're going to do slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. Now the bar is flipped, and then we're going to swap these two here and here. So slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And that solves all the ones on the top. And then for the bottom, I noticed we have these two headlights, so we're going to have to hold these in the back, swap the two, and then hold them to the left. And the first thing that I noticed is that we need to flip this middle bar. So we're going to do that by doing slash 60 slash 60 slash 60. And then this needs to be held on the left. And then we need to hold the bar in the back because we already have all of these corners solved. And we're going to go slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And now we're going to want to hold this bar, the headlights to the left, and the bar needs to be flipped again. So we're going to do the bar flip algorithm, which is 0 slash 0 60 slash 60 slash 60. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and then swap these once again, swapping these two diagonally, and then that'll solve all the corners. So slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash 0 negative 3 slash 0 3 slash. And as you can see, all of our corners are solved. Now for the final step. This final step is for putting all these edges where they belong. Now you can have these two, you may have a 3-cycle or a 4-cycle or maybe even a 2-cycle, and I'm going to teach you how to do all of those. This is going to be very kind of similar to the last case actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the edge on the right. So we're going to hold the headlights to the left and then look at the edge on the right. This edge is green, and the green is in the front. Let's assume for a minute that it was blue. If this blue edge was blue, then it would need to go to the back. But because it's green and it needs to go in the front, what we're gonna do is we need to turn the side that is turning the one edge on the right where it needs to go. So for instance, this and this edge need to be turning together, which is like this. So these two are turning together. Now, if it was blue, to get these two to turn together, which are these, we were gonna wanna turn the top once and then turn them together like this. This is kind of hard to see, but you'll be able to see in just a moment how this will work. I'll do a few examples. So this is the way we want to turn it, and we're gonna do slash negative 3, 0, sorry, 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. But we're not done yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn now the top once in the direction that we did not already turn it. So because we already have not turned the top once from originally, because we were turning these two together, now we're gonna turn it where these two now can swap. So if we already did do this step from originally, where we already turned it once, then we would turn it back once to the other direction. And then what we're gonna do is the same case as before, the same algorithm, so slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. And as you can see, that solved all these edges. Now, something I want to real quick mention is actually during that algorithm, that single one move is actually still a part of the algorithm. It just can depend on whether or not it's a positive one or a negative one. But the only reason why, that's really the only reason why I didn't actually worry about needing to flip the bars, because that was still the algorithm continuing, if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you this example with this side now. So this one is blue, and this is green, and then this side is blue. So so this is the red side, and the blue edge is on the right, and the headlights are still on the left. That's how we want to hold it. Bar is flipped, so we're good to perform an algorithm. And the blue side needs to go to the back. So instead of starting from this angle where these two are turning, we need to start by turning this once so that these two are turning this time. And then we're going to do the same algorithm as before, which is slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. And now, because we already did turn the cube once, which we turned it clockwise once, so positive 1, we're going to turn it negative 1 times this time, so like this, and then we're going to do the same algorithm as before, and we don't have to worry about the middle bar needing to be flipped because this is still the same algorithm. So then slash negative 3, 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash, and that solved all of the edges. One other example that I'm going to real quick mention is if you have something with 4, so 4 edges that need to swap instead of just 3. And to do this, what we're going to do is we're just going to hold it without doing a single one move first. So it doesn't matter which way you hold it. You're just going to go ahead and perform an algorithm. And you're just not going to start with a one move and make sure your bar is sliced. And you're going to go ahead and do slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. And now you're going to start by doing a single one move because you didn't do it originally, and then you don't have to worry about flipping the bar once again. So then slash negative 3, 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. And as you can see, now this solved one side. So now we're going to hold that to the left, and we're going to look at the right edge piece. This one is orange, and orange needs to go to the back. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start by doing a one move. That way these two are turning together like this. And then we're going to go ahead and do slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. And now we have to do a one move, negative one move, because it's turning back into the original direction. So these two are not turning together. And then slash negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, negative 3, slash 0, 3, slash. As you can see, that solves the edges. Now I will be showing you just one more case of these four that all need to swap real quick. As we notice that there is none that match, we can go ahead and swap whatever side we want. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and make sure our bar is flipped, which it is, and it's leaning toward the left. We're going to perform an algorithm which is the same as before. So slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash. And we have to perform a single move once again, explained earlier, and then slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash. And then we have and then you might notice, oh, we have actually two sides that are now solved. Now we have only these two that need to be solved. And if we look on actually the other side, we have these two that also need to be solved. Now, if you have this is actually considered as parity, and I'm going to explain how to do this in just a moment, but you want these edges to be across from each other like this. So both of them along each other side, so like back to back. So not across from each other. If you have this, you're going to have to do the algorithm as I just showed you, which is doing like a 3 cycle. And then so to do that, make sure your bar is flipped, and then do slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash. Then we have to do a single one move, and slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash. And as you can see, now we have these two across from each other. Now I will show you real quick how we're going to solve this, and I'm going to show you for each case. Basically, you're swapping these two by themselves. You're not doing anything with this side, and this is literally the longest algorithm possible. So I'll say the algorithm once. I'll say the algorithm twice, but the first time I'll take it a little bit slower. The second time I'm just going to be demonstrating just for demonstration purposes. But this first time I'm showing you is going to be very important, so pay attention very closely. And make sure your middle bar is flipped. That's once again something important. And the algorithm for these two switching is going to be slash -3, 0, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 2, 0, slash 0, 2, slash -2, 0, slash 4, 0, slash 0, -2, slash 0, 2, slash -1, 4, slash 0, -3, slash. And as you can see, that solved the two case. Now I'm going to show you once again how to do it with these two, and yes, I know it is very annoying if you ever have to do this twice, but first off we need to flip this middle bar, so slash 60, slash 60, slash 60, and align this middle bar where it's leaning on the left, and then we're going to perform the algorithm one more time, slash -3, 0, slash 0, 3, slash 0, -3, slash 0, 3, slash 2, 0, slash 0, 2, slash -2, 0, slash -4, 0, slash 0, -2, slash 0, 2, slash -1, 4, slash 0, -3, slash, and there you go. One other case that you can have before the cube is actually solved is have the middle bar actually flipped. And just to flip this, is, as I showed you at the beginning of the video, is just slash 0, 6, slash 0, 6, slash 0, 6. Something else that can happen after your cube is solved is having these two be swapped. And to fix this, it is pretty simple. All you're going to do is slash 6, -6, slash, and then -1, 1. And that solves it. And there you go. That is how to solve square one. This tutorial was extremely long, and there was a lot packed into it. So I'm really sorry if you had trouble, and don't expect it to be easy even if you're still struggling right now. There's probably people that can help you in the comment section if you need it. I'll even try to get back to you. But if you're having trouble and like this is like your first day trying to learn this, try coming back to this tutorial. Don't just leave it on the shelf scrambled. Like seriously, you can do it if you really keep practicing. Like I said, it is similar to the 3x3 in the fact that when you try to learn it, there's a lot involved and it takes a lot of practice and time. This puzzle is not easy in any way, and it is not, it's really its own type of style puzzle, and it's not related to literally any other puzzle in any way. It's just a really different type of learning experience, and yeah. But anyway, if you found this video helpful, please remember to hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button as well as those bell notifications to be notified when upcoming videos are released. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.